Hello, guys. Sorry I'm late. Hello. Bentley was in here taking a nap, and I had to wake him up right before we left. I got the eyeliner on today, but it's been on all day, so it's kind of, y'all aren't used to seeing me with eyeliner. I probably look kind of crazy. But anyways, how are you guys? Hey, Shar. Hey, Delana and Yanni. Hey, Nikki. I know I saw Granny in here. Who? Aw, thank you, Granny. Jess has a live tonight too, so I want to hurry and get through some of these things that we're going to talk about. But there's some crazy stuff happening. How's my sound, by the way? Usually I don't use headphones, but I thought it would be more clear, and I can't hear as good without them. Like when I played the videos and stuff. Oh, thank you, Yanni. Hey, Allison. Hey, Amanda. Oh, thank you, Delana. I pushed back. I'm on your clock. Uh-oh, Granny. Are you sure? It still will only be about an hour. I'm sorry I was late. I don't want to cut into your live at all. I can't wait for your live. See? Hey, TCA, good to see you. Amazing live last night. See, Jess? You didn't ruin her live. It was a wonderful live. Hey, Punksy. So how are you guys? Oh my gosh, I went with my parents looking at houses and stuff. I'm exhausted. I finished some really cool shirts today. I've got them right here. I want to show you guys. I did make a little video, but in case you didn't see them, just real quick before we get started, I want to talk about this Christmas parade, the new stuff coming out with the Brian Laundrie situation. It really doesn't even involve Gabby, most of these things. But then I did want to talk about some things happening with Gabby and her parents. And then just wanted to show you one thing about Suzanne Morphew at the end. Let me make sure. No, I didn't upload actually all the things so one sec. I wonder where Wolfie's at. I know she's not feeling good. She had a booster shot today and she's definitely having some symptoms. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Well, that was great, honestly, wasn't it? Oh, I thought it was good. I really do. I think Allison, I know I know how it is. It's uncomfortable being up here by yourself, but you do a really great job. But it's hard. Yeah, it's hard talking to yourself. But anyways, let me show you guys these shirts. So I had no idea. Well, first I'll show you a couple of tie-dyes that I did. This one, which is an extra large, which I love. It reminds me of like cotton candy, the colors on it. And then I'm going to set it right there for now. These are the ones. So they were plain black with the Nirvana on them at first. And then I bleached them twice. And then I added color to them. So it's like a reverse dye situation. And you guys, I'm going to do some more of these. I think Punksy might be getting one. So there's only one. But I found some Grateful Dead ones in West Virginia. And I'm going to get some neon dye and do that with those. And I think they'll be really awesome. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah. So there's two of those. One has more blue than the other one. And then just one more of those little pink and blue colors, which this one is a medium. I don't know, something about those colors together, but it's so weird. And I've noticed this with makeup too. On camera, certain shades don't pick up, but then, like this pink, this light pink, you can barely see it in pictures or video, but in person, it's a lot more vibrant. I don't know. It's really weird. Anyways. Okay. Oh, thank you, Granny. I didn't know if it was going to work. Oh, both of those Nirvana are men's large, by the way. Punksy, I don't know. I hope that's a good size. Which I could wear it. I'd wear it with jeans. I like big t-shirts though, but I didn't know if it was going to work. It was kind of just testing it, and it ended up working. Hey, Jordan. Oh, that's okay, Kelly. I understand. Babies first. Granny. Hey, Amanda. Cotton. Um, Candy sweet as gold. Let me see that Tootsie Roll to the left. To the left. Yeah, that song. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. Hey, girl. Oh, I'm so glad you love that sweatshirt, Kelly. You and Amber and baby Amber are the only ones who have those colors. So it's a special little, which I would totally make them again. That's awesome. Okay. So have you guys heard about the Christmas parade gone wrong? We'll start there. Then we'll go to Gabby and Brian's stuff, because I do have a lot of that. So over the weekend, let me see if I could pull up some pictures for you guys. This is rough. It's so disturbing. I actually saw it from Kelly. She had shared a video clip from the news. And I don't know if you guys had heard about this. It happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin. So Daryl Brooks, a 39-year-old man who is also a rapper who goes by the name Math Boy Fly, took his red Ford Escape and started right here where you see I took the screenshot right before impact. He started in the back of the parade, and he ran over these people all the way to the front. All the way through, and continued to go after that. I did share on my community page today, there's some Ring doorbell footage coming out of him knocking on someone's door, asking if he can call the Uber, and then the police show up and stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, it's only like a minute. Definitely check it out after this. So, let's see. He actually had the red Ford Escape behind him in a music video called Half a Ticket that he did. So when I first started reading my notes, there were only 5 dead, 48 injured. There's actually been a 6th victim, which is a child, and we'll get there in a second. He's been charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and more charges pending. And I'm hoping, and I'm assuming it'll be 6 now. I do know the police chief believes he acted alone, and there's no evidence of it being a terrorist attack. And I do want to talk to you guys about something. Please be aware. Oh, Dylan. Hey, Dylan. You guys, if you could say some prayers for Dylan. She's a dear friend of mine who I met adminning for Sherilyn. She's been an admin here, but she hasn't been here much lately. She lost someone incredibly close to her, and it's been really devastating. So please, if you could keep her in your prayers, I would really appreciate that, you guys. Yes, that first baby dancing. Oh my gosh, Sandy. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I think that we need to be aware of this, and any situation, any, mass casualty event, any true crime, already with this situation, there are a lot of people, and not necessarily the mainstream media somewhat, but especially, random people on Twitter. Don't just believe anything you see. I mean, people saying that, well, they're trying to use it for political purposes. This is a Black man who, had Black Lives Matter post on his Facebook and stuff. But I don't want to jump to that. I'm kind of following what the police are saying right now. And I want you guys to know, no matter which side that you're on, hey, Will, that certain things will be used for political purposes to go with a certain agenda, So apparently he had just left the scene of a domestic disturbance. But let's go through some of these. So here we have, yeah, absolutely. Waukesha police are calling this a mass casualty incident, 12 plus police units and 12 plus fire trucks. There was 48 people injured. This was like what your worst nightmare. You go to a parade with your babies, you're throwing candy and doing like the family thing for Christmas, and this happens. One of the clips that I saw, you guys, was of a cheer team. So there was a high school band, there was a group of dancing grannies, they had a little dance team, and unfortunately I do believe the first 5 casualties were out of that group. And then there was a children's cheer team. So this right here, the parade was being live streamed on Facebook. And you see from this view, you don't see the impact on this particular stream. I mean, you can find videos that of the impact. It's really disturbing though. I'm not going to play it here, and I'll warn you guys, if you go look for it, you can find it, but just be prepared. It's tough to watch. So you see the parade go down through these people, and all these kids screaming and candy, and little kids dancing and having a blast, and then you see this car going so fast. I mean, you can see it's blurry. He was flying. I could not believe he went through a barrier. They had it blocked off for the parade, and he just didn't stop. It could be politically motivated. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I just want to be really cautious about that. I don't like playing into that kind of stuff at all. So this is the car. And let me remind you, what dented this car up was the bodies of grandmas and babies. Absolutely unreal. I personally don't think it was a targeted attack. Yeah, I mean, think even the people watching it, they are just completely, thank you, Shar. This is just going to completely mess with them for a long, long time. I'm so over agendas too, Nikki. The thought, like looking at this car and knowing that every one of those dents, the bumper ripped off, what caused it, man, it's just, it hurts your heart. This was a screenshot. I can't even read it though here. Well, I'll show you this, and you can see baby blankets, strollers, chairs flipped over. People just got up and ran. They didn't know what the hell was happening. Waukesha, Wisconsin police chief says they are confident suspect acted alone. No evidence this is a terrorist incident, chief says. Oh, that's from Brian Laundrie. I'm all up in the camera trying to read it. I'm sorry, you guys. So here's the guy that did it. He looks absolutely terrifying. I just think like our kids watching a parade excited, and now this, I know. Hey, Zena. I don't know, Sandy Beach. I don't know. I know that there was a domestic incident, and some places are reporting with a knife involved, some are not, so I'm not sure on the details on that. Hey, Brandy. But he looks scary right there. Now, this was a screenshot I took from where they were streaming his court hearing. So I'm wondering if this was just taken after this. People say that when they saw him driving down the road, they thought he could have been part of the parade because his face was just he was just staring forward, not angry, not anything, just kind of blank. That makes me question his mental health. But this guy is a career criminal. He's been in and out of jail. Lots of different charges, even, sex charges, drug charges, you name it. Yeah, he does look like he thinks he's a badass. So right before I came on, I'm going to read this to you. The sixth victim was identified, but the Waukesha Police Chief Daniel Thompson read out the names of those who had died. Virginia Sorensen, 79. Leanna Owen, 71. Tamra Duran, 52. Jane Coolidge, 52. And William Hospital, 81. The sixth victim was identified on Tuesday as an 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, who was critically injured alongside his 12-year-old brother Tucker. Whew. Yeah, Granny, that is really interesting. And you had mentioned that last night, that you feel, that was on them some as well. But, I'd like to see the details of that, because that's pretty interesting to think about. Yeah, brothers. I mean, imagine. And let me tell you, there's so many more kids in the hospital. There's 4 hospitals that took people that night, and a lot of these victims are children. I have a screen recording where you see from the front of the parade, because you can see there's a woman who was filming above on her balcony, and that's where we get the video where this screenshot comes from. No, not that one. Is it? Yes, this one. Sorry, the comment on the screen. So this was from a video that was filmed, someone filming the parade from the top balcony. There was also someone standing down on the road filming the front of the parade, who there was like a cheerleading team. I mean, these little girls, they look 10 or younger. And you see them, they're just like dancing and cheering, and, they're kind of together, kind of not, because they're kids. And because at first it's hard to tell what you're looking at. But for me, I was a cheerleader for a long time. I realized very quickly it was children, because they weren't in sync with each other. Then you see, these moms filming their kids, and then all of a sudden a car just comes by, boom, and half of the cheer squad is either ran over or, bumped out of the way, and there's little girls laying on the ground, pom-poms that had flown up in the air and just laying, and these adults, they're just panic. Oh, I don't know, you guys. This one really got me. I knew we had to talk about it here, because I don't know, just pure evil. Hey, Cheryl. I miss my cheerleading days too a little bit. I ruined my body, my back, my knees, all that, but I do miss them. Let's go back and look at his eyes. Then we're going to go on to talk about Brian Laundrie for a minute, and Gabby and the family and different. There's a few things I want to talk about. Well, his pupils aren't particularly large or small, but he's under bright lights, so I'm not sure. The look in his eyes, to me, looks less like drugs and more like there's a mental health issue. But I could be wrong. Say they're pinned. Hate to hear about this. They need to put him under the jail. Absolutely. They are small, but I don't know. I didn't feel they were particularly super small. He's a meth addict. I bet you, with that wide eye look, I get where you're saying that, but his pupils aren't real big. So I don't know. But I mean, under those bright lights, it could be tricky to know. Looks like my old hookup, Brandy. Sandy Beach Rage. Well, and he did have some interesting things. Let me see. I thought that I hadn't uploaded one. I might be able to do one really fast. He had some tweets that were a little bit concerning. And he was Black Lives Matter, which that's expected. He's a black man. I'm not anti Black Lives Matter. I'm not particularly fond of the organization based on some shady, tax records and stuff. You guys know I'm more left leaning politically anyways. I do believe the movement is really important. And, if I feel like if you're a black person, you should feel like your life matters. I don't really, and I know some people feel different and they just think that's the pure evil. For me, I want people to feel like they are accepted and loved. And, so I don't see a problem with the movement, but it's when the organization, where the money goes and things like that, because they made a lot of money, especially after George Floyd and stuff, and I'm not going to get too much into this because I know we're going to be all over the place politically in here. And I love you guys. I don't care what you think. I lean left, but my parents are, my dad has a gun shop and I'm from West Virginia. They're gun toting, very right leaning people. And I love them, so I think that we can all mesh fine together as long as we don't take it too far. I don't want to jump on saying this was something about race because a lot of people are already doing that. But he does have some concerning tweets. He's talked about, running people over. He's had a lot of, here's one. Learned and taught behavior. So when we start back knocking white people the fuck out, I don't want to hear it. The old white people too, knock them the fuck out. Period. I lean right. See, that's okay. That money paid for mansions. Yes, it did. That is that's what I'm saying. I'm not okay with that. Now, I think I'm all for everyone being treated fairly. I want people to feel their lives matter. I do. So I'm not against the movement, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to leave that there. So there's a lot of questions if it could be race related. His mind is very unwell. Absolutely. Hey, Angie. Anyways, so then I'm sure you guys saw that Brian Laundrie, they said, the autopsy results, hey, Incognito Gypsy, drug-induced psychosis, very possible. Act without thought, in my opinion. Let me get my pictures from the Brian Laundrie stuff. So first today we hear that his attorney, Stephen Bertolino, had, written a few different reporters with the exact same statement, actually. Brian Laundrie died of a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death is suicide, according to the Laundrie family attorney. Full statement from Bertolino. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta are still mourning the loss of their son, and they are hopeful that these findings bring, and I cannot see the bottom one, which closure to both families. They did not, okay, so Yanni, I saw your comment before. I've got a few tweets that kind of address this, so I'll wait and then let's see. When Brian Laundrie was reported missing, his parents turned over all of their firearms, but one was missing. That is according to the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino. Now, if you remember, and I have a video on it that, was just a quick little clip of a press conference outside of the reserve. And they were asking the public information person, the dude, if I forget his name, but you know who I'm talking about. They were asking him if he had a gun. He wouldn't answer that. Asking him how his mental health was. He wouldn't answer that. Hey, Deco Painter and Tea. So, yes, you're bang on, Alex. Let's see. I didn't watch it, Amanda. According to the medical examiner, there has been a DNA analysis that confirmed the identity of the remains as Brian Laundrie. This in addition to a dental comparison and a forensic anthropologist doing a skeletal reconstruction. So his skull was in multiple pieces, and they were saying they couldn't tell the cause of death. But, they told us an anthropologist will be looking at the bones, and, maybe we'll get some answers there. I knew. I just had a feeling, people were showing those ropes, and they're like, did he hang himself? Which I always, and I said this here, that just seemed crazy to me. Those ropes were like a foot off the ground. And, there was absolutely no way, damn near impossible. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. And we did talk about how that could be. To me, those looked like swings. Hey, Shannon. So then Gabby's family attorney put out this statement today so first we hear the message that the attorney gives to, whatever you want to call it, news anchors. Then we hear that police are going to be making a statement or whatever. And then we have this statement from the family attorney. The Schmidt and Petito family has been aware of the circumstances surrounding the suicide of the sole suspect in Gabby's murder. Gabby's family will not be making a statement at this time due to the request of the United States Attorney's Office and the Teton County Prosecutor's Office. The family was asked to not make any comments and let the FBI continue their investigation. The family was also asked to wait for the United States Attorney's Office to make a determination on whether any additional individuals will be charged. When that determination is made, we will make a statement. Hey, Canadian Mama. Crystal, I don't think so. I mean, I hadn't heard that. I think there's a lot of rumors and different things. I'm not one to just, I don't know. I'm skeptical of a lot. So, okay. Then, well, hold on. So, before I go on to the next part of this, I want to talk to you guys about this for a second. Do you, okay. What are your thoughts? I know a lot of people are saying they believe he's not even dead. How do you feel looking back on how his parents were treated now, knowing that he had probably been, actually where they said he was? What are y'all's thoughts on this? I want to hear from you guys. I hope that means they're going after those parents. Jessica, you know what? It's possible. Their attorney, and I doubt they will. I do. But I do know that their attorney said that there was a few things that the FBI had questions about. And so it's possible that they thought about it. I don't believe that they will. Oh, thank you, Angie. I believe he's dead and feel horrible for the parents. You know my thoughts. Sorry if I missed it, but did they say where on the head? No, they didn't. Now, if you guys have heard something different, I've seen rumors about it. Like somebody said on the back of the head, but I don't know. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. So you guys let me know. Hey, Jessica, that's okay. Yes, Angie. Yep. Yes, thank you so much, Angie. I have an issue with the way his parents treated Gabby's parents. Yeah, and that's understanding. I mean, they were looking for their child, and there was other ways they could have handled it instead of just nothing. I didn't like that either, but I understand it. Why? Not that, but I understand why they didn't talk. They had a lawyer advising them of what to do. That's the first thing a lawyer's going to tell you. Just like with these little harassment, YouTube things happening. When you hire a lawyer, the first thing they're going to tell you is shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Don't say a word. Because anything you say can and will be used against you. I was wondering, Amanda. He was dead a long time. Yeah. I'm sad over it all. I wish they would talk. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you love it. My thoughts are that his parents were treated horribly, and I believe he's gone. Yep, I agree. Lots of rumors floating about as usual. It's so frustrating. It's like, who the hell sits at home and makes up lies about missing kids, dead people, true crime? Who? It's so frustrating. For what? For clicks? For views? I mean, I don't understand. That's like with the Summer Wells thing. Why are we making up hoaxes and pranks and stuff? Why do we want to spread misinformation? I don't know. Another agenda, Someone has an agenda somewhere. There is a gun that showed up in the water reserve. He must have hidden it after he shot himself. Well, they said that now that made sense to me. They said that it flooded, like completely underwater. So, plus we don't know how far the animals could have dragged him or whatever. I did have a laugh when I seen the pumpkin. If he used his father's gun, I'm sure the guilt alone will not come close to any other charges. Yeah, do you think, this is the thing and WFLA kind of touched on this. What parent is going to say, you know what, suicide is a better option than you paying for what you've done? Obviously, they're devastated. They were, in my opinion, mistreated anyways, and they should have maybe talked to Gabby's parents and kind of said, but also, who knows what Brian told them? We don't know, and the one thing that we do know is the parents were not out in Wyoming. They shouldn't be treated like murderers when they were not there to even, there's no possible way. And the parents, thank you, Cheryl. Think about what they went through. People outside of their house screaming day in, day out. You mow the grass, they're following you back and forth. You go to Walmart, they're following you. They're taking pictures of what you buy. They're making up stories, throwing laundry baskets in your yard, screaming how your son is a murderer and how you're pieces of shit. And the whole time you're worried about your son who left a month ago and hasn't came back. I don't know. For me, I feel really bad for the parents. I totally agree. It was cold shutting her parents out. When you hire a lawyer, they become your mouthpiece. So, Woofy, I haven't heard. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. I haven't heard anything about the Notebook yet. I think that there's still going to be like a dump of information that we'll get. Hopefully, they're able to get something out of it. But if you watch Forensic Files, they have a lot of ways of doing that. So even if it got wet, it's still possible. If he shot himself, where's the gun? Well, it flooded and he was there for, over a month, and his remains were scattered because animals had been picking and stuff like that. So he's not probably going to be near the gun. They need to go back out there and find it. If they don't have it, and they might have it, Punksy, that's one of the things that bothered me the most. And when I had my major change of heart about the parents, because at first I was kind of like, they deserve it. They won't talk to Gabby's family, and then when his remains were found and the protesters went back that day, and then they went back the next day and were saying they're not leaving unless FBI clears them and stuff like that, that bothered me. Not only that, all the speculation that the parents, and it is, okay, I get it. It's odd. They went out there after, a month and a half of searching, found him that quickly. Well, I think it makes sense. It was a place that the dude was known to be. Okay. They had been telling police that he was there, but the area was flooded. And I've seen different pictures, aerial views of, from week to week, and it was flooded in there. So to me, it makes sense that they would find him quickly once the water went down. They knew where he was at. It makes sense that the gun may not be right by him. And if you think that the parents were carrying around his remains or partial pieces to his skull and they planted it there, now come on, conspiracy theories are fun, but to me, that's just way too far off in La La Land. Like, really? I mean, they were met there by police and reporters. They literally called police to say, we're going out there. They didn't have to. They could have went out and looked on their own. Thank God they called police, because had they went out there on their own and then called and found him, that would have been, he could have saved people a lot of time, effort, and money if he committed suicide thereafter he killed Gabby and sent a message where to find them. I agree, Jessica. I have to wonder, I was thinking today, do you guys think after he did that to Gabby, when he came home and he used her card, it was because he knew he was going to take his own life and he didn't care? Because, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Delana, it is like the telephone game. All comes down to the dollar bill, y'all. You know why, Allie? Agendas. People aren't happy in their own life. Yeah. Hey, Larry. I can never forgive what they did to her parents. Yeah, I agree. That was, it was cold. But like I said, I have to think, what did he tell them? I don't think that the guy who couldn't admit to the police in Moab that, he played it off like he was the victim. He was fine with her being the primary aggressor, even though, we obviously know that she most likely was not, and that he was hitting her too. We do know that, but he was totally fine with her being blamed. I don't believe he's the kind of guy that's going to come clean. I don't. I believe he lied to them and told them she ran off, or who knows, or he told him nothing and he was just distraught and upset, and they knew, obviously they would know something's wrong so I don't know. Hope you feel better, Woofy. A TikToker will find the gun. Exactly, Allie. They probably were just trying to continue on with what needed to be done. I'm not sure about what happened between the parents, so I can't comment on that. So what happened was, when Gabby was missing and they were, trying to file the missing persons report around that same time, actually, even the day of that they finally filed, which was, I believe, the 11th, Gabby's parents had been trying to make contact with his parents to see where she was, ask where she was at, ask if they had seen her, and they wouldn't talk to him. And when police showed up at the house the very first time, they already had a lawyer. And that is one thing. I don't know. What did he say to him that made them get a lawyer? And they didn't want to get involved. Yep, Vicky. I agree. He wanted to get home. Do you think he wanted to get home and knew he was going to take his own life, though? Because if he did, why wouldn't he just do it out there? Unless maybe he wanted to see his family or something. But he waited quite a while. I mean, what day was it? He left the 13th or the 14th, and he had, it's speculated that happened with Gabby around the 27th, 28th. So that's a couple weeks at least he waited. I don't think he knew when he withdrew the money he was going to end his life just yet, but that's just what I feel. Interesting. Thank you, Crystal. They might, and they're not going to tell us everything at first. I mean, eventually we will. Yes, Brandy, I showed you guys, and I was going to show you again before I left. It was solid black, and then I did like 2 rounds of bleach on it. I twisted it up like a regular tie-dye, did bleach on it, and then, let's see if I can scoot this back a little bit. And then added color to it. So I've got 2 of them, but only one is left available. But one has a little bit more blue, one has a little bit more pink. It was an experiment, but I'm gonna do some more like that. There's some Grateful Dead shirts I want to get and get some neon dye. Then I have this one I just did, and right here, this little bed makes it easy to bring my little shirts to show you guys. So I am hungry, y'all. I better get to some of the rest of this, and then we'll finish them. I just like to hear from you guys, especially when it's a smaller live, because I can really, pay better attention to chat and kind of take it all in. Because of interviews with Josh Taylor. Oh, you're the best, Angie. Hey, Cher. Why would he use her card only to kill himself? I think he was going to run and became enraged in order to stop him. A fight ensued, and a parent or family member shot him. But if that, hey, I love, different opinions here. But CBK, I have to ask you, if that's the case, how would the remains get out there? But let me ask you guys, if you think Brian Laundrie is actually alive, can you put a 1 in the chat? I'm just curious because I've seen quite a lot of that. It surprised me. Better Call Saul. Yeah, you're welcome. Brian's not dead, in my opinion. See? He couldn't deal with what he did to Gabby. That's how Granny feels. I know that. That it was like a guilt. He was feeling guilty. Hey, Jess, what time is your live set for? He had no idea the story would get as big as it did. Yeah, a lot of them don't. And it's not just because she's pretty, not just because she's blonde. There's a lot of them. I just shared on my community page a pretty young blonde girl. Her leg was found by a fisherman in Florida. I mean, a lot of times the stories don't get attention. Thank you, Brandy. Maybe he was in denial, but I think when her parents started calling, then he had to face it. That would make sense because, a couple days after that is when he went down to the reserve. Thank you, Deco. I'm so glad. Thank you, Crystal. I don't listen to it really now, but I've been a hippie and a tie-dye loving girl since like high school. So I graduated in 07, about 15 years. And there's been times that I did, and I really, it's more of the culture around it, I guess, that I like with the Grateful Dead than the music. But I like some of the music. You should do a live show for us crafters. Each crafter shows like 6 to 10 items for sale on a panel. I'd love to do that. I know that you do your crafting, so that'd be really awesome. Let's do it, girl. Crafting and crime. Like Mommy Ramblings. That's what she does. It's almost 4:20. It's 7:20 here. When he cleared out the storage space, he could have been thinking about suicide, trying to close loose ends. Oh, and Mike King from Profiling Evil did a video today that was really good about the possibility that he could have been involved in the Moab murders. And he feels that there are too many coincidences just to write it off because they said initially they weren't connected. You guys need to watch that if you haven't yet. Thanks, Granny. Oh, I'm glad you love it, Angie. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1, 2, 3. 3 in here that don't think so. Well, I'm almost done. I wanted to show you guys some stuff with Gabby and her parents, and then a little memorial thing for Suzanne Morphew, and then I'm done. Shared, that's what I thought. Whenever, I swear, I was thinking that when they were, looking for him, like, yeah, he would never do that. Because he's a punk. He's the kind of punk that does what he did to Gabby, and usually they're guys like that are just little wussies. In my opinion. It may have happened at the reserve. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Like, maybe, I get what you're saying, a few weeks before facing a lengthy amount of time in prison. I will buy a large men's. Okay, Sandy Beach. Then you can have the other one if you want it. Hey, Amber. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Christmas craft show. Yeah, she does. Think that may be a different meaning to 420 girl. No, Sandy Beach. She's a hippie from way back too. I'm curious though. So that tweet about the gun, does that mean that he didn't have a gun with him on their road trip? Natural born killers. Oh my God, I haven't seen that in so long. He killed them girls in front of Gabby, and Gabby couldn't be what he wanted. Oh, what a great movie. That's very interesting. That's kind of like would go with the books he was reading. Now I have to find that movie because that is one of the absolute best movies of all time. It's been a long time since I saw it. Okay, Sandy Beach. But the attorney confirmed he owned a gun. Okay, so next thing I'll show you though, so there's the statement from Gabby's family. Now, if you guys remember, they were setting up the memorial in the his Brian Laundrie's parents' yard, and then they decided to go do a makeshift memorial at like the park in Northport. Well, then they said they were going to order a bench, and the bench is now in. I have a couple pictures of it. So this is the little memorial bench there for her. It says there's butterflies on it, but oh, I see them. Okay, they're like colored around the top. It's really pretty. Sad. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about her parents. They are doing a lot of work for domestic violence and missing. If you go to her dad's Twitter, he's retweeting so many stories of missing girls and stuff. I've thought that was really, at least there's something like that coming out of it. And they're actually determined not just to set up a foundation in her name, but to give it meaning and to, I don't know. I just like that. If you go to his Twitter, I just grabbed a couple to show you guys, but there's a lot more. And then here is his or her mom. When you turn on Hulu and your daughter's story is the recommended show to watch, it's still shocking. Feels like I'm outside looking in. This cannot be life. We must keep going. Then today, Dr. Oz did a special with the parents, about almost 40 minutes long. I watched it. It was pretty good. And I think I did share it on my community page. Then I want to talk to you. So if you remember the protesters that were outside of the house, we were sharing a lot of, here's his name, Jonathan Lee Riches. So they've went to Moab. I took this screenshot though, like a week ago. I wanted to talk about this and just put it off. But if you guys want to follow along on the journey, go over to Twitter and follow him. They're going, like he says, we are vetting and combing through these people's backgrounds and whereabouts, contacting and interviewing them. No stone left unturned. And here he is with the police chief of Moab. So, I don't know. That's pretty exciting to know that people are still working on that and, looking into it until there's answers. His body was found in Tampa. Huh? What? Oh my God. That movie is epic. Yeah, it's so good. And anyways, I'm going to make this quick and wrap it up. This was just a quick little let you guys know what's going on. The parade thing is, I don't know. I'm going to keep talking about that. That's really bothered me. And yeah. And there's something else that I've been thinking about. And I've covered this case before. But Kendrick Johnson, Paul, I don't know. Hopefully soon. Hopefully once they make sure there's no one else that needs to be charged with anything and they wrap up some loose ends at the end, we'll get everything. That's what I'm hoping. Before I go on to Kendrick, there was a Christmas tree for Suzanne put up in Salada. In memory of her, and I thought it was pretty, so I wanted to show you guys. I hope that she's found, as well. So Kendrick Johnson was a 17-year-old boy who was found, here he is right here, upside down in a wrestling mat. And it was said that it was an accident. He went in after shoes. But the wrestling mat was only 11 inches in diameter. His shoulders were 18 in diameter. Here's his dad trying to show how your shoulders couldn't go in no matter what. And here he is right here. And the way the shoes were like, anyways, the case has been reopened. It's sad that people can get away with committing these kind of crimes because they know somebody in the police force. And I'm sick and tired of there not being justice for this baby. He's a baby. You guys, my oldest son is 3 years younger, 3.5, 4 years younger than what he was when he passed. I mean, it's not right. And just because he's from Georgia, and there's in the South, there's a lot of racism. More than in a lot of other areas. I know it exists everywhere, but in the South, there's that history of slave. There's just, even at my mom's house here in North Carolina, it's just the way it is, and he's a black boy in the South, and the boys who people think and there's actually, if you go to my video, there's even people who have confessed that they heard the whole story from these brothers. There's a lot of different things that point to these brothers. But because their dad is a police officer, and I don't know if he was GBI or FBI, one of the two, they're getting away with it. And it's not okay. His mom was a bus driver. She woke up and he wasn't home from the night before. There was a game. She did her route and goes to school looking for him, and they find him like that. There is absolutely no reason. It's not right. And it's messed up that because I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of there not being answers. And I want, no, it was no accident. It is sad. It makes me want to cry. I can't even, just the thought of, and because of the racial tension and the dad being a police officer, it's not right that there's not answers. That mother had to bury her baby. Not only that, they got a second autopsy, and when they did, some of his organs were missing. He was stuffed with newspaper. Yeah, Paul, I agree. I would love to have a written confession. Oh, Yanni, I'm sorry you're feeling down, but I'm glad this helped. It's not okay. Change absolutely needs to happen, Canadian mama. Jessica, I'm with you on that. Some people, thank you, Angie. Yeah, Amber. Oh my gosh, this story, there's so many twists and turns. There's a new documentary out about him on Vudu. I mean, the security cameras faced the mats, but guess what? They were gone. The footage, was gone from the one that would have got it. But on the other cameras that shows him walking towards the gym, guess who was 10 to 15 feet behind him? Guess what else? There was blood on the wall. So the mats were standing up in the corner, and to the left, there was blood spatter all over the wall. In a school, the janitors they're not going to leave stuff like that. They're being cleaned pretty regularly. They tested the blood against him. It wasn't his. Do you believe they didn't do any test on anyone else in the whole school? They just cleaned it up. If you go online and you can handle some gruesome stuff, his autopsy photos, I was looking at him today, just thinking about this. They are absolutely heartbreaking. But not only are they heartbreaking because his face is swollen from being upside down and all the blood rushing to his head, he's got like a cut on his eye. His lip is split. He's got, he's bleeding. There was a puddle of blood under him. If he fell down after shoes, sure, he might drain some kind of bodily fluids, but not like this. And it ain't right. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to start talking about it more until something happens. Yeah, exactly. He was beautiful. He was so there was a girl who he had been talking to and who had a crush on him. He was a very attractive young man, a good looking kid. But guess what? The girl had been girlfriend boyfriend with the guy whose dad worked for the police department. I don't know, you guys. This one right here, I can't. I don't understand. And I like to listen to drama and BS and all that. Thank you, Granny. But we can waste our time talking about some, trivial shit compared to this, but we can't just forget to talk about it. I like to talk about the trivial stuff too. Everybody needs a little lightheartedness. And also some of the drama and stuff that happens is not trivial. It's very serious and hurtful to a lot of people. But this right here is important. I have heard of that, Amanda. Was she an Asian girl? Oh, Angie, thank you. Yes. They called it a suicide. Yes, I did hear of that. It does need more attention. Well, I'm about to start looking back into it again. I have an old video where I went through, and you guys could find it on my channel, but it's bad quality. But I go through a lot of the evidence and things against these boys. Even a guy that came forward saying that the brother had confessed to him, who got arrested, tormented in jail, not given food and stuff, and then come out not wanting to talk about it anymore. There's a lot of dirty stuff happening here. I'm going to start breaking down some of that a little bit more. And I don't care, sometimes it's crazy because you have these cases that everybody wants to hear about and talk about. And then you have some that they just don't. And I don't care. I think that we still have to talk about them. Because, this could be your little boy, my little boy. My son is literally just a few years younger than him. Okay, I got all emotional. I'm going to go because Granny has a live. Thank you guys, though, for coming and hanging out with me. Let's see. I don't know what it would make more sense if he was rolled up in the mat after he was dead. Yes, Yanni, that's exactly what I think happened. I don't believe he was dead, actually. I believe there was a fight and he was very badly injured. Matter of fact, one of the autopsies showed traumatic injury to his neck. And if you look at the photos, he has like bruising around his neck. Like he got hit with something, maybe a freeway or something like that. And that's been speculated. And they thought, oh shit, we messed him up worse than we thought, worse than we wanted. They rolled him up in the mat, stood it up, and left. He laid there upside down until he died, and you guys, when we get off here, go look at the autopsy photos and the crime scene photos, and you'll see why it just bothers me so much. And I don't know. Delana, we need to go back in it, especially since you said you've been following it since the beginning. I hope that you'll be here when we talk about it more in the future, because that's interesting. I haven't followed it since the beginning. I followed it since like 2 years ago. I'm happy that they've reopened the case, but Sharon, exactly. She saved him. Can you save her? Oh my God, that was on the wall and they still called it suicide? Hey, Vicky. All right, y'all. I'm done on my soapbox. We talked about the parade. We talked about the updates. Talked about the Morphew tree, and I hope and pray that she's found soon. And I didn't plan on even talking about Kendrick, but, like I said, I was kind of looking at it today and thinking about it. And I had talked to his mom before, and she had agreed to come on my channel for an interview, but she had a lot of other things happening in that week or two around when I had asked. And she told me that if she hadn't gotten back to me within like 2 weeks to reach back out to her. I need to reach back out to her, but I didn't want to be too pushy, And she had some big interviews because of the new documentary. So I'm pretty familiar with this case. It's odd how the boy's dad is FBI and Kendrick had been seeing. Yes, I did already mention that, but thank you for clearing that up. I knew the dad was either FBI or GBI, and I knew that the opposite was investigating the case. So if the dad is FBI, then GBI was over the case, but they work together. I continue to, if you looked at how short the bleacher was, there was no way he could have gotten in there head first without the mat falling over. I have to go back and look. My first video I did on it, I showed a lot of pictures. Like I showed the photos, from the crime scene, the mat standing up and, once they laid it over. And I think I showed the blood under it. I know there was shoes under him and then the shoes above him. But, kids bring shoes for gym, for basketball and stuff. So I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe the injuries that he would have had from falling over. Why would he have the trauma to the neck? Why would he have, his eyelid looks like it's kind of been, I don't know, which it could have busted because of all the pressure. But he also had, there was other contusions. His lip looked like it was split. And I know that it's dark and, autopsy photos, but these are important to look at. They are. I wouldn't show them on here. I think that if you guys wanted to see, you could just do a quick Google search, Google Images, and it'll pop right up. They're all over. Jelani Day. I was just watching, Kendall Ray posted a video about him today. My friend Tia has covered that case. I don't know too much about it, though. She goes live really late, so I missed most of them. And the footage from the gym was gone. Yeah, it is. It's just too much. It's not right, you guys. But anyways, I'm going to go. I have to eat dinner, and I'm traveling in a couple of days. Oh, I don't know if I'll see you guys before Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll come on and do a live or something, because I do want to see you guys for Thanksgiving. But anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome night, and thank you for hanging out with me. And when more information about the parade comes out, we will get there. And if you missed the beginning, you guys, definitely scroll back and listen about this parade and some of the details. The sixth fatality was actually just named shortly before I came on here. So yeah. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Granny's Watching has a live. You can go over there and check it out with me. I'm going to be over there if you want. It's probably, I don't know what it's on, but it's more, her channel is about like community issues and stuff. So yeah, go check it out if you want. And then I'll see you guys in a couple days. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you, Allison. I love you guys, and I hope you have an awesome night. Oh my God, 6 now. Yep. And guess what? Okay, before I go, I'll show you the little clip, if you're still here, from the newspaper that names the 6th victim. The 6th victim was identified on Tuesday as 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, who was critically injured alongside his 12-year-old brother, Tucker. So, really sad. Okay, I'll check it out, Cheshire. Anyways, I love you guys. Hug your babies. Tell the people that you love them. Life is short. Look at the stuff that we talk about, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye, guys.